everyone. In this video, we're just gonna go through a bunch of architecture illustrations which I completed in preparation for my next architecture illustration sketchbooks publication. And this is gonna be for architecture illustration sketchbook number 14. Last year I published 13, the year before that was 12, and the year before that was 11. So this is gonna be for this year, hopefully. So the materials I used for the sketchbook is basically just marker pens, and I used ink, and I used just normal ball pen, like here. There's just a bunch of concepts that I have for architectural designs, and hopefully they will inspire to create different designs somehow. The paper that I'm using is called onion skin paper, and it's a very smooth material. That's why I like using it, because the markers seem to flow very easily. Now this is very different than before. This one is it's like the Chinese stress paper or something like that, and it's so delicate to work with. This paper is so hard to have, like, any water that goes through it, it just breaks. It just tears, and I had such a hard time working with it, and I just realized if I just avoid using water, because I feel like you can use water, but just a tiny bit. But if I avoid using water and just use, like, here's colored pencils, here's just, marker pens, then it's fine, nothing happens. But I really don't like using this paper that much, or I'm just not very skilled with using it yet. But this paper here, it's really nice. It's something we call in architecture like a butter paper. So if you just look, you can see through it. And this is how we design, when we come up with like a development for a design, we usually put this paper on top. But I decided to use it for the architecture illustrations because I love how it just takes in the colors and they look very vivid. And it's just a really nice paper to work with, and it's so easy. So here we have more of the architectural concepts and designs. Here I used charcoal pen and ink, and that's pretty much it. I like how the charcoal works with the paper also, so it really took it in well. This one here I use a lot of ink and water, and this is the result. So this one is a bit darker than the ones before. I use a lot of black ink in this series. It's not as vivid or as colorful as the one before. So yeah, that's the only difference. But the concept is the same. I like this whole integration with nature thing and merging abstract art and abstract geometries and trying to find like something unique and different when it comes to architecture illustrations. This one here is another one. I really like how this one turned out to be. I was experimenting with how to express trees and, just experimenting basically with forms and geometries. This one here is my favorite piece so far. From all the things that I've done, this one's the one I like. I really like Islamic architecture, and in my head, or like someday, I think I'm just gonna design a building where it really integrates modern architecture with landscape design and Islamic architecture. There is an architect, he's called John Revell. I don't know if you guys know him. He's really good at these things, but I feel like his buildings could use a little bit more color. I really like color. I think we should bring back patterns. I feel like patterns are really missing, element in architecture. So hopefully we'll try to bring that back somehow. This one here is also a nice piece. Actually, I did this after I watched a masterclass by Futura, I think. And he's like a graffiti artist and basically an artist. And I really like the way he had these structures in his paintings or his art pieces. So I just immediately did one after I finished watching the master class. So here's also another architecture illustration. This here is my least favorite, to be honest. I really don't like this piece, but I don't know if I'm gonna include it or not. A lot of people told me they like it. I'm not sure why, but some pieces you make and sometimes I just don't like them because they're weak. So I guess it's a personal preference. This here also is another piece. I didn't make that much so far. I think I reached 30, maybe. I think they're almost 30 or less. And all of these, I make sure that I create prints of them. So I have them on all the shops like Redbubble and Imprint and stuff like that. And I like doing prints for every architectural illustration that I do or every painting that I make, because that's how I keep everything organized, because I'm really, really messy when it comes to, you know, knowing where my stuff are, like, you know, guessing when did I draw what or what did I draw. So doing prints and keeping them in the shop helps me to keep everything organized and knowing what I published and what I didn't. This here is something I tried to do, it was an attempt, because I'm a big fan of Zaha Hadid's paintings. And I realized that everything that I do is very vivid and very chaotic and very messy and very complicated. So I was like thinking, what if I tried to make something more simple? And this was the result. Not sure I like it. It's okay, I guess, but it was just trying some new style or trying something a little less chaotic. This is another piece that I made. So mostly when you're looking at these things, think about it as like compositions for buildings. So the whole idea actually is just, you see this architecture illustration and then it sparks an idea, like it sparks a geometry, it sparks a form, and the whole idea of architecture is concepts, and I feel like I want to do more than, you know, just design a box and a building and a modern architectural style thing. I want something more energetic, more chaotic, more alive, vivid, fresh. That's something I'm trying to do, to be honest. So I don't know if I'll accomplish what I'm trying. And yeah, so this is all the artworks I have so far for Architecture Illustration Sketchbook 14. Hopefully I'll be done this year. Maybe if I do, when I do more, I don't know if I'm gonna do a video about a part 2 of the other or the next architecture illustrations that I do, but we'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I guess I'll see you next time.